Welcome back everyone. Today I bring you the second game in my FOB Arena matchup against Tiberius. So I looked it up, it is actually now called the FOB Arena. And you can see we are on Mount River. Tiberius picked 6 and I picked 20th Pancerna. This was a pretty interesting matchup. I got the first pick again because Tiberius won the coin toss in the first game and picked player 2 because he, didn't read the rules completely, I guess. and then in game 2, like the player that lost the coin toss can decide again what player he wants to be. So it's not like automatically switched, which is already kind of weird in my opinion, honestly. So yeah, he was a little bit surprised by that, and he kind of only realized in game 2 that player 1 is so broken, but because I could pick again, I just picked player 1 again. And yeah, so I first picked 20th Pancerna and he counterpicked 6Y. Pretty interesting choice by him, but 6Y is honestly pretty undervalued still by a lot of people. Not at the highest tier of play, but like I would say the average player still I think thinks that 6Y is pretty bad because it was pretty trash a few patches ago. But now it is actually pretty good. I don't know whether the BMP1 PG play is the right thing to do. I still want to try it out actually, and I saw people use it successfully. If you don't know, the BMP1 PG is like the BMP1 with a grenade launcher, but the disadvantage is that it has no smoke. So this is obviously quite bad, but on the other hand, it is extremely good against infantry because it has a grenade launcher on top. And you get them with the Motostrelki, then you have the Mordschützen, like only one car, but this is still pretty good infantry. T-64s are decent tanks. You also have a card of T-55s, and we all know how good they are, or I hope everybody knows at this point how good they are if you take them at top of it. You can even air spam if you want to, like your MiG-21 bombers are super good, even though not everybody agrees, but I think like it's absolutely insane to say they're bad because they literally one-shot every heavy tank in the game, and you get 4 of them. But you then also have like the rocket MiG-21s, which are good. You have the L-39s if you want to like really air spam with some cheap shit on top. And then between the MiG-31 and the Buk, you can just completely shut down any airplay your enemy wants to do. And you have the Gyatsint, which is pretty much one of the best howitzers in the whole game. Of the 155/152 millimeters, bar the Msta and the AMX of 1 probably, and the Dana. Dana is also pretty good. So yeah, the division is just extremely good. But on the other hand, I am playing 20th Pancerna, and this is obviously also a very good division. And I know that I will have the early advantage simply because of the honkers, and I will get pretty much everywhere first. 6 still has the Luftsturmjäger, which come in helicopters, but you rarely see them used in the opener. So I kind of assumed that he wouldn't be using them. And you can see I'm doing the Skiffix strat because I think it like makes a lot of sense. I have said like multiple times already, like you shouldn't like just copy Skiffix strats 1-1 every game and then think that you will win. It's more of like listen to what he says about the map and try to use that instead of just carbon copying the strategy he came up with. Because his strategies don't work against all the enemies every time. Yeah, so the thing that he said that is very important is if you control this area, you can reinforce the center without being ATGM spammed in the open like here. In this case, because I know that I will have the early advantage most likely, I'm trying to rush in here, get control of this area, and then go to the center and only lightly defend Anna. And this should give me a good take overall. I am deploying one GSR recon squad here, just in case he also doesn't deploy anything into the center and we have a heavy fighting going on here. I can then quickly get a command into sign, for example. But for the moment, just one GSR and one Malutka. For the right, there's one Rozspecialny and the BVP1. I think there will also be there will be some more stuff there, but will take some time. For the left-hand side, there is again one Rozspecialny with the GSR and then the one without, which is the 18 AP RPG-7 squad. So the GSR squad is going into the church here, and the kind of Spetsnaz OP type squad is going into the forest patch here to maybe catch some of his units on these roads. That would be very nice. Then the BVR1 has some more exceptional recon support that I can then also route to the center together with the other units, which are a T-72 M1, 2 T-55As, then 2 Pichotas Mech in the BVP1s, Shilka and a Coup, and then also one Fago in the church in the back here. Again, because I don't know whether he will deploy heavily here, and if he does, I would want to have an ATGM as additional support. Shilka and Coup, because as I said, he has the extremely good MiG-21 bombers, and I really don't want to get early rushed by them. That would be very painful. And yeah, so right now it's 2 Rozspecialny on the right-hand flank. I don't know whether this is the deployment I will go with eventually. I think I modified slightly. So those are the ones without the GSR again. Because as I said, here is just for holding, so I wanted to have the recon squads that can snipe off vehicles. Yeah, that's what I went with. And then for Arena itself, it's like one Fago and the Pichotas Mech. Again in the BVP1. So those are also, if you don't know, the Pichotas Mech that comes in the BVP1 is also worse, because they have 6 AKs and a PKM. There's the Pichotas Mech SVD that come in the BVP2s in this division. They have 4 AKs, 2 machine guns, and an SVD, so like massively more firepower, but they're also more expensive. Especially if you take them also with the BVP2, which you kind of should, because that's the whole point of them in this division. But yeah, so Tiberius started with 3 recon helicopters actually, which is in this case honestly quite important, because we both have helicopters, recon helicopters with machine guns, with quadruple machine guns, but he has more of them, and in this case he also has the MiG-21. I didn't micro my Coup, so I didn't stop it, I think. It means it fired and then started moving, so it lost track of the missile again, which is quite unfortunate. And he actually did start with a Luftsturmjäger here and a Me-2, so a little bit of a weird helicopter start, but it kind of makes sense, because that means that he will have early control of the center without having to fight for this area. MiG-21 does kill one of the recon helicopters, which is a little bit annoying. Here, I again didn't macro the Coup. What the fuck, man? That's really bad from me, by the way. This never should happen. But the good thing is that I did get this area here pretty much for free for the moment, at least. Which means that I can directly reroute all my units towards here. Or I think I will leave like 1 or 2 T-55As in this forest patch to hold him back for some time. Here in this case I quickly buy a MiG-21 to bomb the Luftsturmjäger here, because I was assuming that, well, he can't have a big AA net up yet. And I already took out 1 card of AT planes in my deck, because I thought that more Air Force won't really be useful. By the way, that one Malutka here missing. Fucking bruh. Unfortunately though, I lose line of sight on the Luftsturmjäger, so the MiG-21, I think it didn't even hit, and then he already has Book up, unfortunately, so yeah, that really didn't go well. And Malutka again missing, what the fuck? It missed 2 out of its 3 ATGMs on the BMP-1s, come on, man. And then yeah, his cluster comes in, but it doesn't drop. That was pretty lucky for me. The Coup missed its last missile, which was again very unfortunate. The Shilka might actually be able to finish it off though. No, it doesn't. So yeah, kind of RNG here not going in my favor, but luckily though he didn't drop, so honestly that's kind of actually fine. It would have almost been worse if he would have dropped and I would have killed him in return, because he would have 100% killed my units here. But now I'm slowly pushing my way forward here. Unfortunately the like hold in the center has completely collapsed, because the Malutka just shit the bed and didn't hit anything, which was a bit annoying. Well, not any. It did hit the one BMP1, but no. I mean, I have it even up-vetted. You would expect it to hit a little bit more at like, what is it, like 60% of its max distance. T-55A here doing a really good job of holding back the infantry. because it like literally just can't do anything against it. And yeah, here I'm just slowly moving forward. I don't want to overextend my tanks too much, so that they don't die to some stupid AT launcher side shots. This MiG-21 comes in once again to finally get rid of my recon helicopter. The Coup is unfortunately still reloading. I might be able to get off the missile in time. And it does, but it doesn't hit. Bit unlucky. It wasn't even upvetted, I think, already by the command, but... oh well. Right hand side honestly looking pretty okay. There is some little skirmishes going on, as you can see. But nothing too exciting. This Ross Specialny will have to be retreated so it doesn't get just killed for free by the BMP-1 command. The FOB here trying to get rid of the BMP-1 on the other side, but constantly losing line of sight. He has already pushed his Luftsturmjäger forward very aggressively to get rid of the BMP-1. The Mi-24, what the fuck? It missed at that range? What the hell? Okay, landed in front of the MiG-21 so that he doesn't get the kill. Just in time. That was very nice. Got in my own MiG-21s, but they were a little bit too late, so I actually didn't get the kill, unfortunately. But the thing is that I am kind of in here now. I did lose one Pichotas mech to his infantry that is like all in this building here, and as I've already said quite a few times, this building has like a very weird line of sight. Like, I don't really understand why you can't see it like from this building, for example. Or like you can see it, but you can't engage them, for example. Moving forward his infantry, and he will just has more than me. So he will win in this case. And this is really not good, because I need the infantry here to kind of spot for my tanks or my vehicles. And at the moment I just can't find an angle to engage him at with my vehicles. And as you can see, the vehicles are like 90% of the push here. Some more BVP-1s are coming into the central door right now, so that should definitely help to attack him from several directions. Also Strela 10M. Left hand side is being reinforced by a Strela 2M as well. T-64 command tech from his side coming in. Also MiG-21 going for the Mi-24, does get the kill. Hoop misses again against a 10% ECM plane, by the way. But my own MiG-21s finish it off, so it's kind of okay. Though losing a Mi-24 is really annoying, not gonna lie. T-64 here, a little bit of an issue because I only have one T-72 up here for the moment. Because I had to reinforce everything with infantry because I lost my own, which is not the best. Trying to push a T-55A forward so that it gets in a good position where it can help out at close range brawling, which is, as we all know, what the T-55s excel at. MiG-31 one-taps the MiG-21. MiG-31 and MiG-21, a bit hard to discern, but let's hope I will not confuse them. T-55A unfortunately dies, don't know whether to do T-64 to some of the infantry here. Coming with a MiG-21 bombing run. I think I did kill like something here, but it again gets one-tapped by the Buk. So yeah, as always, like, my RNG against Buks is just horrible. They have, against the bombers at least, they have hit 2 for 2. They might have missed like 1 or 2 shots against the fighters maybe, but I don't think they fired even at the fighters. So yeah, already off to a good start already, Lamau. But the T-72M is still alive, but the problem here is that it's out of smoke, and I don't have any supply here. Yeah, I tried to just kind of team up on a T-64, but it unfortunately just hits every shot. And oh, it actually missed here. Oh, insane. And what, the BVP-1 hit? Oh, I didn't even know that. Insane. Yeah, but then the T-64 hit the next shot, and I mean, that's fair. Okay, never mind. I thought it actually hit 2 for 2, but that's a fair hit ratio, not gonna lie. But he has retreated here, and that means that I will be at a +2 for some time, which is very useful. Calling in a Strela 10M for the right hand side, and Strela 10M for the center has also already come in. Shiuka here has been doing a good job, has already also vetted up to double vet. Pretty useful. And then the T-72M here gets sniped. Yeah, it was showing side armor for whatever reason. Like, why was it facing there? Ah, my god. Okay, so the T-64 got a nasty kill here. The Ross Specialny should have been honestly in this building here. But not gonna lie, I thought that, again, the line of sights just, I hate them. I hate them in the center so fucking much. I know that I cope about line of sights all the time, but it's like I feel like half the losses I take is because of line of sights that are just inconsistent. Like I would think that this squad here sees it, but then there's this silo in front of it. But the problem is, if you look at this like that, you can see that the unit card is sometimes blocking the silo. So I just constantly forget about the stupid bullshit thing here, and then I get sniped from the fucking T64. And I mean, obviously this should have been prevented by the Ross Specialny being here. By the way, my Malutka here, once again, changing target priority, because it fired the MKLB, then the T64B drove into range, and the Malutka was like, oh no, I have to change target. And cancelled its ATGM and stunned itself because it cancelled the ATGM right in front of itself. Like, I know I've been coping about it like over the last few videos, but I'm sorry, but this is just fucking retarded. This thing hasn't been hit a single time and is already stunned out of its mind. Because it was like, nah chief, I'm not gonna fire at the thing I have already fired at. I'm gonna stun myself. That's gonna be genius. Fucking hell, man. Left hand side is being pushed quite heavily now, which was a bit surprising because I was assuming that he would invest more into here, and he is. So you can see, like, this division can get a shit ton of spam going if you want to, and at the same time there's spam starting on the left hand side, and I only have one for go left here because, like, obviously the big push through here wasn't to the center, but all the tanks here unfortunately also died to some side shots and other stupid shit. And Malutka misses, but I mean, hey, that's fair because it's stunned. If only, you know, it wouldn't have, like, stunned itself, that would have been amazing. But, oh well. T-72 M1 and the T-55 come in as some fire support to the center, but here I did the big mistake of not microing them, and the MiG-21 comes in and kills them both. Like, you see, I noticed that, the thing is, I called them in, and I obviously wanted to spread them out in the sector, but they got stuck on the same target firing on the road next to each other. And then once I saw it, I already was like, oh no, fuck, and I started to spread them out, but the MiG-21 came in too quickly. It was sniped in return though, so I guess that's fine, but the problem is that, like, he will now overwhelm the center and there's just nothing I can do against it. Because the Malutka won't hold. I mean, the Wilk and the T-55A might be able to hold him off, and you can see they're already spread out more. But I mean, obviously, if the other tanks would have survived, I would have had literally double the tanks here. And I've heard that having double the tanks is quite useful most of the time. The infantry here now also struggling because they don't have enough support. T-64 gets hit by the Malutka from the Salamandra, and then the Wilk gets a nasty side shot on the T-64B. Let's see, and it does actually finish it off. Nice. The Rapira back there is really annoying. It's also just sitting in the open, by the way. But it doesn't really matter that much because I have lost my recon squad here once again. And the problem here is that the Rapira can obviously fire at my Malutka, but the Malutka couldn't fire back at the Rapira, even though if it would have been in range, doesn't really matter, right? And now he is kind of doing the same that I did, like he's overwhelming this area and then pushing into the center, while also simultaneously pushing into here because it's just spamming out of his mind. And, like, I mean, the argument against the MiG-21 that I heard is like, it's not cost efficient if you use it against like not the highest value tanks. Well, but first of all, that's dumb, because you can say that for literally all high value units, that if you use them against some shitty units, they won't be good. But if you get like a bunch of tanks, not even on top of each other, but close to each other, you saw that the spread of the MiG-21 is very big. You can get good kills from it, and then also just taking out the tempo of your enemy. Like, if you wouldn't have killed those two tanks here, I realistically could have held this area, but because those two tanks died, I'm now just dead here. And also I bought artillery, and now the artillery kind of just doesn't have a front line anymore to hold. This was just a pretty much desperation move to try to bomb the units that were in the building here, and it worked actually, and the book maybe was out of ammo or something, because it must have been in range, but it didn't fire. My group fires at the MiG-21 and does actually kill it, so that was nice. I quickly called in two Salamandras to reinforce the back point here. Might get a hit on the T-64 actually, but yeah, obviously no kill, and the T-64 actually finishes it off with its NSVT, I think they have. Yeah, they have the NSVT. Some BMP2s coming in, but those obviously need to stay at range to be able to deal with the T-64s without being sniped themselves. Infantry here, though, being deleted very effectively. T-64 does fire at one of them and kills it off at this range, which is, you know, fair enough. But the BMP-2 might actually stun it down. Yeah, that's nice. And the infantry moving through here will be able to flank around on the T-64. My Vilk here is tracks broken, so I'm pretty sure this is pretty much taken out of the game forever, because it can't move anymore. And I know I think I've said it already, but I'm still salty at Eugen that they just aren't able to fix such bugs, like, in time. Because this just... I mean, this is honestly one of the reasons why I'm not playing so much right now. Because it's just not fun to get a crit, even if you are the one that gets the crit on your enemy, and then you know that the tank will just be useless for the rest of the game. By the way, MiG-31 sniping my MiG-21, Ripperino. But yeah, that's just... It's just sad, honestly, that you just get unlucky and then... I mean, this is a Vilk. Like, imagine this would have been like an M1A1HA or a G80UD. It's just incredibly annoying and discouraging, let's put it like that. On the left-hand side, I think... I don't think I know that something sniped the BMP-1 here, the command, so he wasn't able to get his command actually in. And I spotted his command on the right-hand side, so I thought that I might as well quickly take it out, because, you know, killing commands is always important. The BVR-1 did come in here, but I noticed that the repeater was in the open way too late. So unfortunately, that did die as well. And I think I didn't notice that the T-72 here was tracks broken and it wasn't able to move anymore. So I was constantly repairing it, which is obviously nonsense, because this here is just wasting supplies. Like in such cases, just say fuck it and leave the tank to die. I mean, I guess it is useful in the sense of that it is still holding him back. Hoop here, by the way, killing my own Mi-24 by the splash damage. Nice. But in general, I mean, the supplies would be better used killing off something else. The Rapura that was sitting in the open, just killing everything in the whole game, because I just wasn't able to see it for like half the time. Wilk does get a nice shot on it finally though. And the artillery will finally finish it off. And then the Wilk proceeds to miss on the T-64, but I mean that's fair because the T-64 was very far away. Danas, please, thank you. Left-hand side here, I don't know whether I actually got his tank or not, but I was holding him back and that's the important part. Sturtenem also died somewhere. Don't know whether it was on the left-hand side or in the center, honestly. Fago here being spotted by something. I don't even know what. Is there a recon squad in here, maybe? Or is it... No, it's not in cover! I think at least, because it's not... You can see if units are in cover, they're like blinking slowly, but... Like, why would this not be in cover? What? It's in a literal fucking forest, why is this not in cover? Are units automatically not in cover if they fire or something? Okay, that's... I mean, that is a bit weird, but that would be the only explanation as to why it is spotted. Okay, fucking bruh. I guess PSA, there is a clearing in the forest here where it's not cover? Maybe? I might be wrong. If somebody knows in the comments, you can, like, feel free to tell me, but... It really seems like that. And now there's a crossfire he has established between the two T-64s here. I'm trying to move my T-72 over, but you see there's a big mistake I do. I'm driving through the town, and unfortunately, WARNO tankers are fucking retarded if you drive them through towns. And in this case, the T-72 is like, yeah, let's turn the side armor to the tank that is gonna shoot at me in like a second. I mean, to be fair, he was stuck between a rock and a hard place because there was an ATGM flying at him as well, but like... well, to be fair, does the T-72 survive a sideshot from a Conquerors, for example? I don't know, there's none on the map because I have lost every one of them. Oh no, they don't survive a sideshot from the Conquerors actually. Yeah, okay, I thought that this was stuck on some buildings in a town where tankers then begin to turn retardedly, but apparently he was just being fired by 500 different units that nobody was able to see. So yeah, that's honestly on me. That's fair. Danas do finish off one of the T-64Bs. because apparently that's the only thing that can kill tanks. Like, I have lost all my tanks at this point that I have called in, and I don't think I killed a single T-64 with them, because they just all died to some side shots or bombers. And here then the A-Tiefling comes in, it of course misses and gets routed first shot. Gets hit first shot and routed. So yeah, at this point I was kind of... I wasn't giving up, but I knew that at this point I would just be outgrinded, because I have, as I said, I have lost all my tanks. I have killed like one of his. All my stuff has just consistently died. I have microed badly. And, well, yeah, like his tank numbers just don't go down. I have held on the left-hand side very well, but the problem is that, like, holding doesn't win you the game. Though in this case, technically, you know, I'm ahead, so it actually might work. And here you can see I'm starting an attack on the right-hand side, because I assumed that, well, hold on. He invested massive resources into the center, massive resources into the left. Like, there can't be a lot on the right-hand side, just logically speaking. So I just started moving in with my infantry here. Spot one conquerors of his, but I mean, that won't stop me for long. Luckily also doesn't get the Honkers, that would have been Sedge. And I've been also just constantly losing my recon, which was very annoying. I guess, I don't know, it was too close to the front line, but I mean, if I want to spot stuff here, I kind of just need to put it into the building here. There's just no other way for me to see anything, unfortunately, in this game. Me2 Earn starts firing, because I didn't have the Stir-10M up in time. To be fair, I obviously didn't want to push it up too early, because, yeah, I didn't know how much was actually in here, but in the end it pushes up too late, and then barely doesn't get off its missile on the Me2. Honker here dies, unfortunately. BVP1 versus BMP1 SP2, and my Malyutka actually wins, based. T-72M here, I tried to get it into a flanking position here, but unfortunately I kind of just have run out of recon here at all. As you can see, there's like nothing left. I do get a BMP1 or the BVP1 in on the right hand side though, and because I sniped his BMP1 here before, I know that I can full cap the sector. Me2 Earn coming in once again, and here I just, again, it's the sidelines that I don't understand with forests and helicopters. Like, sometimes you can see them, sometimes you can't. But yeah, wasn't able to spot the Earn, and then the Stir-10M proceeds to miss 2 missiles against a 0% ECM helicopter. And yeah, I do get the cap off barely, but this is already like horrible. T-72M1 gets giga side shot by the T-64. I tried to target the BRM1, but unfortunately he managed to refute it out in time. While I'm trying to keep my T-72Ms alive here. But yeah, now the push on the right hand side is completely failed. He is rerouting one of the T-64s. T-72 here just like praying to stay alive, now gets stunned by the T-64, and the MiG-21 cluster is coming in, and I don't have any long-range A on the right hand side. But luckily enough, he went for the T-72M1 that was sniped by the T-64 anyway, so joke's on you. My tank died before your bomber could finish it off. Fuck you. T-72M misses against the T-64B, but I mean, this is the older M variant, so I mean, it still has like decent accuracy, so, you know. Could have hit, like, come on man, I needed the RNG, but yeah, in general those T-72Ms are obviously very bad because they don't have smoke, so if you're calling them out, you are in a world of hurt. And I mean, look at this, there's like 3 T-64Bs here, there's another one here. I'm not even sure, did he take the BVs? He might have only taken the Bs because he got more of them. That's honestly an interesting idea though. The B is just so much worse because it has the Cobra, not the Argona, and the Argona is so nice. But overall, it's still an interesting thing to think about. Stir-10M does at least finally get a hit in his life. For fuck's sake. Could have been, you know, very useful. It would have sniped the Luftsturmjäger on the right there, but not like it would have won me the game, but it would have still been useful. Again, missed against the Earn. Fucking bro. Did kill it in the end though, at least that's something. And yeah, I still need to buy in AA, but the problem is, at this point in time, don't ask me why, but I was assuming that I had shot down most of his cluster bombers. I guess that's because during the game I just saw MiG-21s die left, right, and center. But those weren't the clusters, those were the fighters. And yeah, that's actually a pretty big difference and a pretty important difference. Now there's a T-64B here, so the BVR-1 is just, yeah, stranded in the open, trying to reroute the T-72, but obviously the BVR was gonna die soon, like 10 out of 10 times. He goes into bomb the Strela 10M, which is fair. Now the T-62 like spotted the T-64 with something. I don't know why. Like, did the Scott 2A spot it or something? Anyway, it was a bit weird, but I'm not gonna complain because I got a side shot and a kill finally. It's like, I think the first tank on tank kill on my side. Everything else was killed by the artillery. Left hand side, by the way, looking pretty good for the moment. Coop already double wet. Hell yeah. But I mean, now the MiG-21 comes in and finishes off the Vilk. And the Coop snipes in return, so that's good, but it's again the problem of me losing all the tempo on the ground. And now his L-39s are coming in to bomb my infantry. And I mean, those are not the best, but they are very useful if you want to airspin because they're just very cheap. Much good because yeah, 60 points, and I mean, 2,500 kilogram bombs for 60 points. That's pretty good. They are like high altitude bombers, so they don't dive for the target, which is obviously not optimal, but they're still pretty good. And as I said, like 60 points. That's hella fucking cheap, man. And yeah, now he did a +4, and at this point I kind of already knew that I had lost because he just outtraded me so massively on the tank front. I think overall the trades are okay, but it's just that I need my tanks. And actually the Polish don't get that many tanks because you only have one card of Wilks and 2 cards of T-72 M1s, and then the Ms are honestly just for like, the Ms are only good if you are already at an advantage. Like pushing in with the Ms is like, it's just a death sentence because the T-72 is a brawler tank that has less range, so you need the smoke to be able to get into range. But the T-72M of the Poles doesn't have any smoke, so you're just kind of fucked. Here I'm trying to like get back in, but I'm just outnumbered, and then the air is coming in constantly. I think I'm finally buying in the A, but obviously it takes some time to arrive. Artillery is trying to get me into the center, though like I have recon up here, but it's to the left hand side, so again it doesn't spot to the right. Should have maybe gone in the second one, honestly. That would have been a decent idea. And yeah, look at this, he's now just air spamming me. Coop does finally get a hit though. Yeah, but no air defense in the center. ATGMs are flying, and I can't spot shit. The BVR, okay, okay, it's driving over the beach actually, so that's why it can't spot anything. MiG-21 gets another T-72 M1. I get a nasty shot on the T-64B, and yeah, look at this, another MiG-21 cluster coming in. Actually does only kill one unit, but like almost kills the other two, and then the T-72M gets finished off by the T-64. This one pushes around the corner, but it's like super stunned, and yeah, all the tanks are dead. Because yeah, that's what I said when I meant. Oh, that's what I meant when I said I thought that all of his MiG-21 clusters were dead, but yeah, they weren't. And I kind of just keep forgetting that they get four of them. Like, oh my god, I don't want to say that's cancer because it's fine for the division to have it. I just always forget it, and they also reload giga quickly. Like they have 1 minute of reload time, if I remember correctly. So it's just insane. If you don't kill them, you rarely like only damage them. I feel like you either kill them or you don't, and then they get back in so quickly. I also never had time to reload the Coop here because I was just so busy trying to get anything going in the center and on the right hand side. But yeah, well, what was the problem? I was pushing in through here. As I said in the beginning, the whole idea of skipping is to say, take this area so you don't get ATGM spam from 5 different directions, like I was when I was trying to push here. And then also mismicroing the BVR because the BVR1, because I was driving like on the beach here and didn't have any line of sight onto the map. That wasn't a good idea as well, not gonna lie. Yeah, he just T-72M's trying to drive in and get some snipes on the units here in the open. Might actually work out, maybe, but of course it gets critted, man. please. And then yeah, it just gets triple tapped by everything. I do get the L39 in the end, but and the problem is that his air spam did its job already. So even if I kill all of his planes, it's like it doesn't matter at all. Like he has already won the game with his air, which was honestly mostly just to my stupidity. I should have just had more AA up more consistently, and as I said, also just as dumb as it sounds, like retake this area and then push into the center. That would have been a lot better than trying to fight here against 25 billion ATGMs coming from different directions that are all invisible. Oh well. I mean, here look, the Coup snipes the MiG-21, but I mean it's already too late. The T-72 here almost dead. Didn't even capture the zone, and there's 10 minutes left. He's at the +4. I have lost pretty much all of my tanks. Calling in a bunch of infantry now, but I mean, what's the infantry gonna do? Yeah, not much. Waiting for the Danas to be resupplied to maybe get some kills with it, because I mean the Danas are honestly the best anti-tank unit I have had throughout the whole game. I mean also I do have my planes, but the planes, I don't think they have hit a single time. The AT planes, the MiG-21 HE might have, I think they hit once or twice. But yeah, I mean, as I said, I overall didn't want to rely too much on the air, because just 6 is just painful to play against if you try to use air. Yeah, now just waiting for some more units to arrive, because obviously at this point pushing in piecemeal would be the worst thing I could do. Supply coming in for the artillery finally, and I kind of just didn't want to give up too early, because I knew that I traded horribly, but I also knew that I didn't trade so horribly that it was like literally physically impossible for me to win. It's still, you know, there still was a chance, even if it was a slim one, but I might be able to get in, because like not the only disadvantage, but like the biggest disadvantage of 6 is that you don't get a lot of stuff. Like you get a decent amount, but you can't really spam it that much. You get a decent amount of decent tanks, but you don't want to spam the T-64s. It's just that in this case, you know what, T-64s in the open against T-72 is like the perfect matchup, because you're just straight up better and everything. You're also more expensive, but you're not like that much more expensive as, like, for example, an M1A1 HA against T-72s, right? Or even a T-ADPV. And you also have more availability on the T-64Bs. Yeah, here ATGMs again firing. Recon wasn't in position yet to spot them, so I mean that's fair. Infantry has arrived on the right-hand side. BMP-2 will be some nice fire support. I'm retweeting this one so that it doesn't get sniped, and actually should have honestly retweeted this one as well so that it doesn't get sniped by some close-range AT launchers. Also, a FOB should have been in here quite some time ago, but I think it will come in later. And also the T-55 ASs could have been well, would have been useful. I mean, in the early game, I guess, against the infantry here, but I mean, I just didn't have the points early game. And then later on, kind of the infantry wasn't my problem, it was just the T-64s that were also very well microed by Tiberius, by the way, just to be clear. Like, T-64s are very good if you micro them against the T-72s, because you can still get overwhelmed, but like, as long as you micro them, they are a lot better, actually. I don't know whether the Conquest here actually vetted up because it just killed so much or not. I think, is it like his first artillery barrage? It might be, I'm not 100% sure though. T-72M here also died to something, most likely to some T-64 side shot or whatever. I mean, the T-72 here should, like, if I would want to have any chance of winning, the T-72 should already be, you know, just driving through here, but I can't because my infantry is being stuck on his infantry. Center, my infantry has gotten into the sector, but the problem is his T-64s here are still alive and very much able to kill me. Also getting a crit again on my T-72. Like, fuck me, man. What was it with the crits here? Like, this isn't like, the crits here definitely didn't lose me the game, but it is a bit annoying if you are fighting a much better player than you, and then you also get critted all the time. And yeah, AT play here, that's what I mean. MiG-31, if somebody still doesn't know, MiG-31s are the most broken fighter in the game, not because they kill everything, but because two of them will force retreat every plane all the time. So, and he only had one of them up at all times. Oh, so and he didn't even play it optimally, honestly. Because if you have one MiG-31 up at all times, and then if your enemy brings in a plane, you call in the second one, you can just insta-route them 100% of the time, and they will never get to drop. Sure, you also don't kill them, but on the other hand, you have the 8 damage missile that will hit sometimes, and route, as I said, 100% of the time, so you can just completely shut down the airplane, and if they get through, your Book can just kill them. By the way, Book did get a kill in it, like, lol, the Dana even vetted up from all the kills it got. But unfortunately, that isn't enough to win the game on its own. I have stopped the tick, actually, because I did get into the center, but, I mean, that's not long for this world, because the T-64 BVK here in the back just has killed like half my army. T-72 M1 is pushing in. Maybe it will misses. But his T-64 also misses. Wow. Miss and miss. Does it also have a... yeah. That's also one of the big advantages. As you saw, maybe. The T-64 BV has a better autoloader, or the T-64s in general, no matter which variant. So they fire 10 rounds per minute, and the T-72 M1 fires 8. Or like the T-72s. Every variant. Which is pretty important. And the SV-22 finally gets a hit on a BMP-1. But I mean, hey, a hit is a hit. And you can see here, like, the MiG-31 on its own also already fires super quickly. Because its missiles are fire and forget, so it can get them off very, very quickly. And they have a cooldown of, what was it, like 2 seconds or something? So that's actually insane. You can just force back your enemy even with one MiG-31. But the thing is, with 2, you kind of just instantly force them back. And yeah, now he's retaking the center. All my infantry is dead, pretty much all my tanks are dead, and I said, you know what? I have 100% lost it now. GG to Tiberius. Fair win and very well played by him. Overall, also very enjoyable games. Like, as I said, the crits in the second game were a bit annoying, but they weren't like... I mean, it was like all my tanks were getting engine destroyed or something. So it was like... It was fine overall. I just, as always, forgot that you get 4 of those stupid cluster planes. And, yeah, misplayed the map. So, skill issue on my side. Let's look on... And also, as I said, well microed T-64s on his side. Let's look on the kill list. What? My Me2 actually killed a Motostrelki? Okay, that's funny. I mean, the early game worked kind of okay, and then I just completely fell apart in the mid game because, like, as I said, I just played the map wrong. Also, the Shilka did get a good kill list. Me-24 really didn't do that well. Yeah, the Malutka was also very annoying in the early game. That just stunned itself down. Like, fucking hell, man. This group here, absolute hero. If it now also wouldn't have killed one of his own Me-24s, it would have been even better. But like, look at this. 2 clusters, 3 AA planes, and then the Luftsturmjäger in the helicopter was a very important snipe also for holding the left-hand flank. I mean, the Wilk did get 2 C-64Bs actually, so that's a good kill list for a Wilk. Because I mean, the T-64Bs I think are pretty similarly priced, so this is actually extremely good. Salamandra killing 2 BMP-1s, also very nice. And yeah, look at the Dana. This one performed very well. And the other one also, I mean, did get 2 T-64s and a Rapira, so both of them more than paid themselves off, but unfortunately just wasn't able to capitalize on those kills. The BVP-1, I think this is the one on the left-hand flank, also did get a lot of kills. The other Wilk also getting a T-64, so the Wilks actually performed decently. It's just that the other T-72s performed so unbelievably badly. Yeah. If we look at his kills, yeah, the urn here. Man. And I think this was the one where I couldn't get the Strela 10M into line of sight because I always misjudge it with the forests. And yeah, well, the BVK here getting a good kill list, a bunch of BVP-1s, and only 1 T-72 actually, but that's still worth it. And MiG-31 getting 3 planes, Watschützen also getting a very good kill list here. And every single MiG-21 here didn't get a lot of kills, but as I said, it just took out all the wind out of my sails in the mid game. And that was my big problem. And then you look at this T64 and it's just insane. It killed like half my army, man. Half the division just died to one T64. This one also getting 272s. I mean, this one got two T72s and then just also a bunch of shit on top of that. And another cluster killing a T72 in Estrella, for example. And the BVK again getting two T72s. This cluster did only get one BVR, but I think this was the one that almost killed two other T72s, then got a one-shot by the T64B. He actually had the BVs in his deck. Okay, interesting. Yeah, again, this one here getting two Ms, though to be fair, as I said, those are the ones without the smoke, so not the best. And yeah, so that's it. That's a draw. And I don't know whether this means I'm out or not. I haven't really understood how it works this time. I think that means I'm out, but I'm not sure. Maybe I'm not. We will see. But I mean, if I'm out, then oh no. That's fair because my group was very hard, and honestly, getting a draw against Tiberius, like I know that sounds like cope, but that is more than I would have ever expected, so I was already happy with that. And the second game was still like fairly close. Like I could have won it if I wouldn't have been an idiot. Even though I heard you shouldn't say that because that diminishes the skill of your enemy or the achievement of your enemy. And I don't want to do that. As I said, he played very well. But it's just no. There's just no denying that I also just played it poorly in places where I could have done better. So yeah. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you in the next one. Until then, have a beautiful day, and bye-bye.